Hi guys, hope everyone is well. It's a miserable day outside, so I thought I'd go and top up the Calagas bottles, which I have. I've got two 6 kilogram light bottles, not the heavy ones. These are the light bottles, which it's a 6 kilograms. If you convert that obviously into litres, it's around about 1.96 litres per kilogram. So obviously a 6 kilogram bottle will be 6 times 1.96, which is around about 11.76 litres of LPG that you could put into them. Now, the limit that you're allowed is at 80% limit, okay, 80% full to allow for expansion. Now, I never fill it to the 80% limit. I'll explain in a second. Now, when you're obviously filling these bottles, always just try and have a little bit of knowledge yourself about the bottles themselves, of how much they weigh, when they weigh full, when they weigh empty. You know your litres compared to your converted to your kilograms, etc. and stuff like that. So just do a little bit of research first of all. Now, with your bottles, when you're filling them, always obviously make sure that you're in a very safe area. Make sure there's no diesel over the floor, so you'll be slipping. You don't want to be slipping on your backside, especially when you're carrying a gas bottle. So make sure it's clean surface. Make sure you wear a good pair of rubber gloves, because the nozzle can get very cold sometimes when you're detaching them. When you use the gun, obviously just push it onto the actual adapter. The adapters, and some of the bottles already have them built onto the bottles, these new safe fill bottles. But if you're using an adapter, make sure it's screwed very, very tightly. Use like an adjustable spanner, put it on, twist it clockwise, make sure it's clipped in, then put the gun obviously onto the nozzle, onto your adapter, sorry, squeeze the trigger, and it has like a little locking mechanism. Lock it down. I always hold on to it for some reason, I don't know why, but just hold on to that, make sure it's locked tight, and then look at your dials. Now there's a button, basically you can stop, start, you can fill it to however much you want. Now, the 80% limit, as I was saying earlier, I don't do it to 80%. I do mine to around about 11 litres, which is around about 74.8% of the normal 80% that you're allowed. Okay, so mine will be just under 75%. And if you work it out the other way, it's around about 93.5% of the 80%. Of the 80% limit that you're allowed. And sorry, I probably confused you there really. And about 74.8% of the 100% limit that you're allowed, the total capacity of the bottle. Are you following me? Okay. Right. So when you're filling it, just know what your bottle weighs. Work it out, or write on the side of it, or put a sticky label on the side of it or something, and just write on it. When I got my bottle originally, I weighed it. It was a 6 kilogram light, and it was full. Now, when it's full, I mean it's full to the 80% limit. That's what Calagas will normally fill it to, the 80% limit. So when it's full, it weighed 10.54 kilograms in weight. And when it was completely empty, when it was open, there was nothing coming out, it was 4.54 kilograms in weight. So then I'll be able to work out, I can either weigh it with a suitcase weigher or whatever you want to weigh it on electric digital scales. Just weigh it all and know a little bit about it. Make sure you're very competent, very confident when you're doing this. If you're not, then don't bother at all, or get somebody else to do it that's done it many, many times before, because there are certain service stations that allow you to do this and some places just don't allow you to do it, because a lot of people just kind of overfill them and then they bugger it all up for everybody, as they do with everything in life, when there's always just a small few that knacker it up for everybody, like dog walkers that don't pick up the dirt or stuff like that. But yeah, make sure you're very confident and know all the maths around about the bottles and what your limits are. So with these bottles at the moment now, I've just paid £11, just over £11. The receipt's here actually. I've just paid £11 3 pence for one bottle, and £11 4 pence for the other bottle. So around about 22 quid for two 6 kilogram bottles. Now, if you go to Calagas and you get a refill, at the moment, I've just looked online, it's £32 for one bottle. So that would have been £64 for two bottles, and I've just paid £22. So as you can see, that's a hell of a lot cheaper than if you was to get it directly from them. And people are saying, oh, they've got to pay for the petrol and moving it around, shipping it around. And well, like if it's that like expensive, then of course people are going to do this. People are sick and tired of paying over the odds for stuff like gas and energy, electric and oil and diesel and all the rest of it. We are sick of getting rinsed for money. And at the moment, if we can save money like this and we can fill it ourselves, we can fill our cars with diesel, we can fill our cars with petrol. So why can't we do this with the gas? Providing that they are completely empty and you know what you're doing. So yeah, if you do, like I said, if you've got them in your camper van or whatever, make sure just take out the bottles and just weigh them yourself, and don't fill it. If they're like 1/4% full or something, just don't bother doing it. Don't wait until it's completely empty. And I know that's awkward if you're doing long distance traveling and all that, but it's just something that you're going to have to get used to, and it's just something you'll have to try doing yourself. So these are good for me because I can go traveling, I can take my bottle either for cooking or for heating when I go camping, rather than carrying like about 10 canisters, these small little farty canisters that you can fill. They're good if you like your backpacking, but if you're in your car and you're going for a few days, it's better to get one of these small 6 kilogram light bottles. So there you go. Anyway, that's me. So take care, guys, and I will see you on the next video, and hope you're all well, and let's pray for some sunshine. Ta-ra.